Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey everybody, Rob Hoback. It is day number 78 in our Daily Discipline series. It is the second day of January. Welcome back to work for a lot of people today. No, it's busy, so we'll get right to work. My IAMs, I have not done a very good job of showing these lately, but I have been keeping track. I think maybe the last time I did was loyal. Son and brother, that got me thinking about, I wrote this after visiting my brother's grave, seeing my mom. Yesterday I wrote focusing, right? And what I mean by that is that it's kind of like I'm tuning into a frequency and I'm not quite 100% there. Sometimes the message is still a little mixed, but I'm sure that as I continue to focus on what I'm focusing on, that will continue to be a little bit clearer. And then I wrote this morning that you're not alone, or I'm not alone. The longer I go on this journey, the more I realize that there are just some common things that happen to all of us. And, whether that's mental illness, or the perception of mental illness. I would argue that every family has mental illness in it, and that there are a lot of people who just struggle with one thing or another, and it has been so taboo for so long that people just don't admit it. And it's like we treat that as something that's very unique and special and odd. I'm like, no, I think there's quite a few of us out here, like one in every one of your families. And mostly it's the ones that nobody doesn't want to admit. So anyway, you're here. You're not alone. You're here for a reason. So thank you for joining, by the way. All right. Here's what I wanted to talk about today. This has just been on my mind. Probably always will be on my mind. But today I want to talk about how fear is a liar. And I think, again, sorry, Juan, for not cross-referencing here. But, my therapist recommended a song called Fear is a Liar for me to check out because she knows how much I love music. And she was right. I loved it. It's a great song. Great video and a great message. And the message is just like the title of the song, fear is a liar. If you stop and look back at everything that you've been fearful of that you've eventually done, the fear, the lies that fear told you, mostly grossly exaggerated. And so, I guess the reason this has been on my mind, a couple things. Number one is I see the struggle from my mom. That's fear-based, right? She's holding on to those things thinking that that's going to prevent something else. And unfortunately, she's just hanging on to a bunch of stuff that's making her life more miserable. So, but anyway, there's a lot of us that it's time to go back to work. And, so we're back into that work routine, getting up, getting in the car. And isn't that where fear strikes you when it's quiet, there's nobody else around, and it just kind of sneaks up, right? I got this reminder on my phone, does that. Like, man, it's fear. What do you want? And, if fear was a person, I've told people this before. If fear was a person that was in your sphere and they kept coming around, eventually it'd be like, man, that person there, all they do is lie. They exaggerate things out to be way worse than they are. We view them as a negative person. Oftentimes, we are nudged into fear by one of our negative people in our sphere, right? In our vortex that just keeps coming back around. And, it's funny that as I rehearse these videos and stuff like that, I've always had this, it's kind of a voice inside my head that, when you're talking about, and you're like, gosh, some people might take that, like, is he talking to me? I'm again, for the millionth time, I'm talking to me. I'm looking at me, and you're kind of a voyeur. So if it applies to you, then yeah, I'm talking to you. But anyway, you know who you are. You know if you're dealing with fear, you're not alone. Just remember that fear is a liar. If fear were a friend or somebody, a fake friend, we know what we can do with those, right? If fear were a fake friend that kept coming around, eventually we would just say, no, I'm good. No, thanks. I can't trust you. I don't believe you. But for whatever reason, we let fear keep coming around and we keep listening. So my challenge, my call to action is recognize fear for what it is It's an instinctive fight or flight, you know, and you just have to push through it because most of the time it's nonsense. It's a lie. And so I was telling Precious, if fear were a person by now, I would just, you know, when fear came up and had something to say, I don't think I'd even let him speak. I'd just punch him right in the face, like, gone now. We don't need any of that around here. So stop hanging out with fear, right? Like, that guy is no good. There's nothing good that comes out of that. And then, you know, today's a big day for my mom, right? For all of you who are down, who understand, man, she's got a tough day ahead of her. She's got a tough road, but I know she can do it. She's capable. She just has to set her mind right. And, you know, personally, I did my part. There's nothing for me to do right now. And so there's a little anxiety with that, but again, I did not put her in this situation. I tried to help. What she does next is up to her. So hope for to bring that up. You know, say a prayer for her, please. Put a prayer on Mary Jo, and help her to have the wisdom to understand that this is self-inflicted. She's not a victim. She has everything she needs. And then, you know, once she gets past the fear, hopefully she recognizes, and I'm not talking about myself here when I say this. I got 2 sisters who have gone above and beyond for her. And, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, I'm done talking about all that. It's negative. Punch fear in the face. Stop hanging out with fear. And, you know, for those of you that it's back to work, it's time to get back to work, right? Exercise those muscles some more. So hands up, peace out. We are better together. Precious, you better have gotten a brick for me or I'm sending my peeps over there to talk to you. All right. So have a great day. Love you guys. See you back here tomorrow. Bye.